Ever wondered which house in England holds the title of the most haunted? Forget what you've seen in the movies. Today, we're journeying to a real-life location steeped in centuries of chilling history and paranormal activity. This isn't just any old ghost story. This is the tale of Borley Rectory. Nestled in the quiet Essex countryside, Borley Rectory was a grand Victorian mansion built in 1862, but its story of hauntings began long before the first brick was laid. Local legend speaks of a 13th century monastery on the site. The story goes that a monk from the monastery and a nun from a nearby convent fell in love. They planned to elope, but their secret was discovered. The monk was executed, and the nun was bricked up alive within the walls of the convent. This tragic tale is said to be the origin of the paranormal phenomena at Borley. For decades, residents and visitors reported a phantom nun wandering the grounds, often seen near a path that became known as the Nun's Walk. She would appear as a sorrowful figure, her face filled with despair. People also heard the ghostly clip-clop of a horse-drawn carriage believed to be the one meant to spirit the lovers away. The rectory was built for Reverend Henry Dawson Ellis Bull and his large family. From the moment they moved in, strange things began to happen. They reported hearing unexplained footsteps, phantom whispers, and seeing ghostly apparitions. Henry's daughters claimed to see the nun on multiple occasions. These early accounts were just the beginning. Things escalated when Reverend Guy Eric Smith and his wife moved into the rectory in 1928. During their stay, Mrs. Smith discovered a human skull wrapped in a brown paper package while cleaning a cupboard. Soon after, the haunting activity intensified. They experienced objects being thrown, mysterious lights, and strange sounds. The most famous phenomena began. Cryptic messages started appearing on the walls of the house, pleading for help. Unable to cope with the relentless paranormal activity, the Smiths contacted the Daily Mirror newspaper, which then sent a famous paranormal investigator, Harry Price. Price's arrival in 1929 turned Borley Rectory from a local legend into a national sensation. He conducted seances and experiments, documenting poltergeist activity like stone throwing, bell ringing, and objects moving on their own. Price's investigations are what truly cemented Borley's reputation. He claimed to have communicated with several spirits, including one who identified herself as a French nun named Marie. She claimed she was murdered on the site in 1667. This contradicted the original legend of the eloping nun, adding another layer of mystery to the rectory's history. After the Smiths left, the rectory was taken over by Reverend Lionel Foyster and his wife, Marianne. The Foyster years, from 1930 to 1935, are considered the most violent period in the rectory's history. Marianne Foyster seemed to be the main target of the poltergeist activity. She was reportedly thrown from her bed, slapped by invisible hands, and narrowly missed by flying objects. The wall-writing phenomena continued, with messages scrawled on the walls, seemingly by an invisible hand. Some messages were directed at Marianne, with pleas like Marianne, please help get. The sheer volume and intensity of these events were astonishing. Over 2,000 poltergeist phenomena were reported during the Foysters' 5-year residency. Imagine living in a house where you are under constant, invisible assault. It's no wonder they eventually fled. After the Foysters left, Harry Price returned. He rented the rectory for a year, from 1937 to 1938, and assembled a team of 48 observers to systematically document any strange occurrences. This was one of the first truly scientific approaches to a paranormal investigation. The team kept meticulous logs, noting every strange noise, temperature drop, and visual anomaly. Their findings were later published in Price's books, The Most Haunted House in England and The End of Borley Rectory. The observers reported a wide range of phenomena. They saw the ghostly nun, heard the phantom carriage, and experienced the classic poltergeist activity. They also reported new phenomena like the sound of a baby crying and the scent of lavender filling the air. The wall writings also reappeared, providing more cryptic clues about the spirits supposedly trapped there. The climax of Borley Rectory's story came in 1939. During one of Price's investigations, a spirit supposedly communicated that the rectory would burn down that very night and that the bones of the murdered nun would be revealed in the ruins. While the fire didn't happen that exact night, it did happen. On February 27, 1939, the new owner, Captain W.H. Gregson, was unpacking books in the library when an oil lamp overturned and the house was engulfed in flames. The fire raged through the night, gutting the entire building and leaving it a smoldering shell. As the spirit had supposedly predicted, the ruins of the rectory did reveal a secret. In 1943, while clearing the ruble in the cellar, Price's team unearthed a jawbone and partial skull of a young woman. Could these be the remains of the tragic nun Marie Lair? The bones were given a proper Christian burial in the local churchyard in 1945 in the hope that it would finally bring peace to the troubled spirits of Borley. But did it? Even after the rectory was demolished in 1944, the hauntings didn't stop. Visitors to the site and the nearby church have continued to report strange phenomena. People still claim to see the ghostly nun, hear strange noises, and feel an unnerving presence. Of course, Borley Rectory is not without its skeptics. Many have questioned the validity of Harry Price's investigations, suggesting he may have exaggerated or even fabricated some of the evidence to sell books and gain fame. Some believe Marianne Foister may have faked the poltergeist activity to gain attention or to cover up an affair. It's true that some of the phenomena could have rational explanations. Old houses make strange noises. Drafts can move objects, and the power of suggestion is incredibly strong. Once a place gets a reputation for being haunted, people are more likely to interpret ordinary events as something paranormal. However, the sheer number of witnesses and the consistency of their accounts over so many decades is hard to dismiss entirely. We're talking about hundreds of people, from reverends and their families to sober scientific observers, all reporting similar, inexplicable events. Can all of them be mistaken or lying? The wall writings, for instance, remain one of the most compelling pieces of evidence. Witnesses saw these messages appear on walls right before their eyes, with no visible cause. And the discovery of the human remains in the cellar, right where Price had been told to look, is a chilling coincidence, if nothing else. So, was Borley Rectory truly England's most haunted house? Or was it a case of mass hysteria, fueled by a compelling legend and a master showman like Harry Price? The truth is, we'll probably never know for sure. The house is gone, and many of the witnesses have passed away. All we're left with are the stories, the photographs, and the lingering sense of mystery. Today, nothing remains of the rectory itself. The site is now part of a quiet residential area. But the legend lives on. It serves as a powerful reminder of how a place can become so intertwined with stories of tragedy and the supernatural that it takes on a life of its own, a life that continues long after its physical form has vanished. What do you think? Was Borley a genuine hotbed of paranormal activity? Or was it all a grand illusion? Let me know your theories in the comments below. And if you've ever had a paranormal experience of your own, I'd love to hear about it. Thanks for joining me on this journey into the heart of England's most famous haunting. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more deep dives into history's greatest mysteries. See you next time.